Hello everybody, this is Chris Andresen with the Bike Hub podcast, Because Bikes, where we talk about everything that has to do with bikes and the bike industry, bike racing, bike care, fitness, nutrition. We talk about all of it. And today I'm really excited. I've got a special guest with me, Rich Kimpel.
How you doing?
Thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. It's been a while.
It's been a long time, but
Yeah.
Rich and I have known each other for a long time. In fact, we haven't spoken in a while, and we're reminiscent about the old days. And so we'll go into that because there's some really fun stuff. But Rich is actually the vice president of Spokane BMX at the Joe Albi track. And so I thought it'd be great to get him on there, talk about the BMX track, and just go through all the great things that they're doing up there and get some information. So if you guys are interested, you know where to go to it, because it's an amazing track. Probably kind of a world-class track. We're really fortunate to have something like that in Spokane.
Absolutely, definitely national class. We're doing a lot of fun stuff out there. We got a great facility, great partnership with the city, a lot of cool things happening. So yeah, It's definitely a top-notch facility.
Yeah, I was really impressed the first time I went out there. I was like, holy cow, I grew up racing BMX in the valley behind the old Rosars, right? And it was like a cobblestone track, the gnarliest rocks in this track. And then you go out there and it's this huge and perfectly smooth dirt, and it's an awesome place. Kids don't know what we went through.
No, they have no idea. They don't know what bicycle motocross is. Everything is very manicured, real fast, well taken care of. So it's fun. It makes for exciting racing.
Heck yeah. I want to talk about kind of your history. You grew up in Spokane.
Yep, I did.
Where'd you go to high school at?
I went to high school at Meade.
Oh, you're Meade. Okay.
Yeah, grew up in Hilliard, moved to Meade.
And you were in skateboard, BMX.
Yep.
Growing up doing those things?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I started kind of getting involved with BMX, just riding, and when I first bike in '76. Started tricking it out, box handlebars, fenders, all that stuff. And then about '78, I got my first copy of a bicycle motocross action picked it up at 7-Eleven, and it just opened my whole world. And then started racing on 1980, and then kind of raced a lot until early '80s. And then I started getting into punk rock, and so then that kind of drew me to skateboarding. And so then I got into skateboarding, and I kind of quit racing then, but I was doing more freestyle street stuff and skating, and then kind of went from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so way back, very early.
Yeah,
Stone Age.
The original, kind of the early days of BMX.
Yeah.
I think it's funny when you did that BMX Plus or that motocross. That was my first thing. It was probably mid '80s. I'm in the grocery store. I'm a little kid, and my mom's like, "You can get a magazine," and I was like, "Look," and I saw the BMX. I don't know if it was BMX Plus or BMX Motor or something like that. And I bought it, and right on there was a bright pink dyno on the front cover. And I had that magazine for years. I wanted those bikes in that thing.
Yeah.
It was life changing, right?
Those magazines, especially that then just shaped that whole culture. I mean, there's no internet or anything, so you get that magazine, you just study those pictures, and it's and even now, once in a while at the track, we'll get some old pro or one of those guys. I got a race with Stu Thompson a couple summers ago. He was in town, awesome. And it was just, I felt like a little kid. I was all shaky. I couldn't even get a good start out of the gate because Stu Thompson's right there, so
legendary.
That stuff just shapes you. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you grew up in Spokane, racing some BMX, getting really into skateboarding. After high school, you move over to Seattle, which is a really cool story. I didn't know that till tonight, that you're in Seattle. You kind of noticed some interesting businesses popping up over there that you thought would be kind of fun to bring back to Spokane. And this is you're 18, 19 years old?
Yeah, I moved there right out of high school. And then at that time in Seattle, snowboarding was really starting to take off. Skateboarding was in this weird kind of low spot, but still, always happening. Skateboarding never goes away. It just kind of goes up and down. And at the time, it was kind of cool. Like I was telling you earlier, I started a skateboard company, me and a buddy of mine, because for $500 you could just do it. So we're like, why not, And same thing with snowboarding. So it's just this really fertile environment in Seattle at that time. And all the music was going crazy, I saw Soundgarden in a bar with 100 people, so it was just, it was a really cool time to be there. And I kind of got hooked up with a friend of mine who owned two other he owned a U-Skate in Seattle and then one over on the west side. Oh. And so I was like, man, Spokane doesn't have anything like this. Like, we should bring these brands and bring this kind of vibe, you know, as like kind of this DIY, hardcore kind of, you know, thing that nobody else was doing. You know, bike shops were maybe selling some skateboards and snowboards and that kind of thing, but there was not much standalone type of stuff happening like that. So we did it.
You did it. You came back and opened a shop here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know if anyone knows, but it was called 509. And I remember the sign. It was just a white sign with this 509 right on the. It was a dope sign. And and so one of the first times I ever met Rich, I actually walked in. We were going down to UTF, the skate park that used to be under the freeway there, and my buddy's like, hey, let's go in and see Rich. He's super cool. He owns the shop. He just opened it up. And we went down there. And where was it? I remember going down there, but I don't remember exactly where it was.
That must have been at the second shop, because that was on the corner of Riverside and Washington.
Had big windows. I remember that.
Yeah, Riverside and Washington. Yeah, that was the second place. We were up on Sprague originally, and then we moved down there to that bigger spot, right on the corner. Yeah, so
that was a great spot. And I walked into the skate shop, and it's just sweet. It has all the things you'd want as a teenage kid, right? And then right there, you had a yellow standard cruiser, which you didn't see in Spokane. Like, you really even barely anybody had something like that around. So it was really unique. And I was like, this is the coolest guy ever, man. He's got a skateboard shop. He's got BMX bikes in here. Like definitely a neat shop. And and I also thought it's like your store, when you brought that to Spokane, it was kind of the big change of like the skateboarding being this really hardcore, right? And like the marketing for the skate shops were like this guerrilla style with stickers all over. Snowboarding was popping at that point too. And you're doing snowboards out of there too.
Oh yeah. Lots of snowboards. That was, I mean, kind of dollar wise, it is from a business perspective, that's where we made all the money, is on snowboarding. Skateboarding, the margins aren't very high, and you don't sell nearly as many. So snowboarding was kind of our bread and butter, I mean, we sold a lot of skateboard stuff, but just the margins are so much better on snowboard stuff. But so we brought like LibTech, Canoe, Joyride, like all these brands that nobody was doing
in the early days. Yeah,
and a lot of stickers. And I got in trouble for those. Like, I get called from Mount Spokane, like, I think you're doing this to, because you're mad at us or whatever. There's just all these five, and I go, I just gave away like 2,000 stickers. I can't be responsible for all those.
One of the things it's one of the things I took when I started working the shops. I was like, I loved the stickers, and I was like, once we were at Wheelsport, and at the point I was like, we're gonna have stickers. Like, I want to have that skateboard vibe here, because it was such a cool thing. It's one of the things I stole from the skateboard and you guys from doing it. It really is an awesome way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
People get to show their loyalty and represent the brand. So
no, that's definitely.
So
cool.
that was what mini tricks that I stole from you on So let's get back. So you got some deep roots in Spokane with that whole culture, and especially with BMX. And it's been, and so you got two little boys.
I do, yeah.
And what are their ages?
They're 10. Well, they're going to be 10 and 5.
So they're going
to be 10 and 6.
When they came around, basically, you kind of got back into BMX with them, huh?
Introduced
them to sport.
And before, the new track got built in 2010. And so I started racing in kind of full time like 2012. Okay. And so Torsten was still like a little guy, like kind of too small, but like I was racing, and so he was out there, and I was just chomping at the bit to get him going. So I just built these like ridiculous Strider bikes for him, like carbon fiber, and just, it was kind of over the top, but it was a lot of fun, Yeah. But so as soon as those guys could do a Strider, which, they were like a year old, I had them out there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So kids got you back into it, kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So you being the vice president of the track, what are kind of your main roles and kind of your ultimate goals for the track? Like, what do you guys want to accomplish,
Well, we just want to continue to build it, get higher, bigger rider count, get more people out to the track, like show everybody how fun that is, like what a great like piece of cycling that is, retain people, keep them at the track, keep them having fun. So like we work really hard to make sure we have a good time out there. We have all these different like kind of themed races during the year. We have like superhero night. We have our midnight race where we actually race like twice. You can't have more than one race in 24 hours per BMXA rules. So like we have one race in the morning, and then at 12:01 we drop the gate again. So like everybody stays there, and we do all kinds of different events during that. You know, we have Color Me Rad with the powder. I'm sure you've seen those, like the running ones. Like, so we do one of those, and that's like one of our biggest ones. Like, people get so stoked on that.
Oh, that's cool.
And so yeah, just all that stuff to just keep it fresh and keep it fun and keep people stoked. A couple of years ago, I started the Super City Summer Series, which is like a race series that we do at the track. And the cool thing about it is that I designed it so that everybody, no matter what your proficiency, is competing with each other, right? So at the end of the day, they're all competing against each other, and it's like the amount of races, how you place, like all that stuff. So like, it was really cool. The first year that we did it, a 5 novice won the series, and a 16 expert got second. So it's like, you know, everybody competes against each other, and we just get prizes from the community, and people are so generous, you know. So that's like a super cool thing. People really look forward to that. And then we have huge events, like we're hosting the Nationals this year, the Lumberjack Nationals, which is a 3-day deal.
Big race.
A big race, yeah. And if you guys want to see some racing, you got to come out to that. Like, you just can't believe how fast these kids are. Like,
and I think you were telling me that you guys are like one of the biggest tracks in like the U.S. Is that what it was, or like in the district?
I wrote it down because I didn't want to tell you the wrong stuff. So last year we were #1 in the state. There's 11 tracks in our state.
Nice.
We were 8th in the region, which in our region is 109 tracks. We were 25th in the whole country, which is 309 tracks.
Wow.
And we were #1 for the BMX Racing League.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so we just want to keep on that path, and it's really cool because I feel really fortunate. We have a great relationship with the Parks Department, you know, because that belongs to them, or the land does. We have a super awesome board, really hardworking people on it. I got to shout out to Cicely Bradley. Like, I call her the boss lady because she does all the hard stuff, you know, and she just takes care of business, and she's so awesome. She's kept us on track and helped us continue to grow. And then we have like so many volunteers. Like, these people are just so passionate about BMX and so passionate about fun, and like, they just make it happen. It's amazing. It's just so cool to be part of it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things I love about BMX for cycling and just the bike industry as a whole is it's the entryway into the sport is so minimal compared to other forms of bike racing. Like, you can really get BMX racing for a couple $100 with the bike, the helmet, like the race, the stuff you need to go racing. Like, so it's just a great thing, and it's an awesome spectator sport. Like, you can take the whole family out there, make a barbecue out of the day. I think it's such a great thing. And one of the things I was going to ask you too, like getting kids, what are one of the biggest benefits of out there BMX racing? I mean, we both grew up kind of doing it, so we kind of know that, but a lot of people don't realize, like, it's a great sport.
It's such a great family sport because you get everybody out there. If they want to, everyone can compete. You know, the kids, they become friends. So you go to the track and all your bros are there, you know, like, they're just having fun. They learn sportsmanship. They learn, you know, just fun. It's just, especially like in these times and like COVID times, you know, it's like you're outside, you're having fun, you're being competitive. Like, you know, they're
not playing video games.
They're not playing video games, and they're just having a blast and getting radical and like gaining skills. And the cool thing to me, you know, having been in cycling in one form or another, like basically my whole life, mostly it's been BMX, but like to see these kids get stoked on riding bikes, because they're not going to race BMX forever, but guess what? They're going to get a mountain bike, and they're going to keep riding, and they're going to, you know, maybe they're going to get a road bike or whatever, but it creates this like love of cycling and of bikes. And so, I mean, to me, that's just
for me, it was like we're the gateway, right? And like, we see that with so many kids that started there. And the other part is like how amazing some of these athletes are coming off of a BMX background that moves into like mountain biking. But I've seen some incredible athletes from BMX to road and cross that are like, these guys have a huge tank. They can just do it all, and their bike skills are amazing. You know?
Well, there's so many. I'm not up on the current mountain bike racers, but like the old school dudes, you know, you got like Tinka Juarez, John Tomac, like Joe Lopez, like all these dudes that came from BMX right into mountain biking and dominated, you know, at least during their time. And that's the other thing for kids too. If they're gonna be stoked on bikes. Like, it's such a great place to learn those bike handling skills and to like really learn how to ride a bike. You know, you can't fake it out there. You
can't fake it. We had a big, this was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, we had a bike hub night out there. Jason all talked us out there, and I hadn't been on a track, and I took a cruiser off the floor. I was like, I'm going to race this cruiser, man.
Yeah.
And it was so scary and so hard for me. At the first lap just took a while to get used to that, but it was, we had a blast. Like,
yeah,
it was so
much fun.
Yeah. And you remember like just being and dropping the gate and just going after as hard as you can, and like, you know, not go, like you're going as hard as you can, but for some reason you're not going as fast as you want to go.
Yeah. Well, and there's something like, you know, when you're elbow to elbow with other people too, that's just like, it's like the next level, you know. You can go fast by yourself, but when somebody else is right there, like, you know, that takes it up a notch.
It does take it up a notch.
Yeah.
You know, right now we've had this like really big bike boom in the industry, and mountain biking. It's really just gone crazy for our area. We have so many great trails and stuff. And as we were just talking about some of these, like the benefits to it, but I think that's one thing to point on for these people that are mountain biking that want to improve their skills. Like getting to the BMX track is a great way to get out there, and they can race their mountain bike there, right?
Yeah,
you can technically go there and like, jump in with the cruiser class, right?
Well, yeah, kind of on a side note, another really cool thing about our track, and because it's part of the city parks, is that it's open all the time. So you can go and ride there as long as the gate's not shut and locked, which it is at like 9 o'clock at night. But you can go and ride anytime you want. And so it helps, you know, anybody can go ride, kind of get used to it, just check it out. The kids that are already racing, it makes them faster because they don't have to wait for set times to be able to ride. They can go out there all the time. But there's so many skills to be gained. I think even for people, you know, that are racing at a high level, like say DH or something like that, you have to be so efficient in BMX because like the whole moto is only 45 seconds long. So every pedal counts, every place that you can be efficient, like, you know, you got to keep it down instead of jump, or you got to like figure that out, like can apply to different, you know, to mountain bike racing that you maybe don't think of because the environment is kind of so different, you know, but it really, I think is
you can
solid.
Always spot out the BMX racers on the mountain bikes because they're manualing.
Yeah,
like mountain
that's
bikers
a huge
don't
thing.
manual. The BMXers do.
Yeah.
So we usually can tell right off the bat where they came from. Every couple of those.
I've noticed that before. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm gonna run through a couple. So, though you do need, like, if you decided to go out there and try it out, you have your bike, you have your helmet, but you need, like in mountain bike racing, and back in the day we needed like a license to go race. Is it, and that you buy something for the whole year, but you can buy something just for the day, like if you're just going to try it out?
Yeah, and I can't, that's terrible, I should have written this down, I can't remember what it is, but it's very inexpensive for a one-day pass. It might even be free, don't quote me on that. Hit us up on the Facebook page.
I feel like when I raced, it was like free my first race, and then the next, like I did a day race, it was like $5 or $8. I remember it was really cheap.
Yeah, I think you can do a one-day membership. It might be free. If not, it's like $5 or something. Hit us up on the Facebook page, and I should have written it down, but I didn't. But so you can come try it out. Cool. You know, and just see if you like it or not. Like I said, you come out and ride the track before that. Then if you decide you're stoked on it, $60 for an annual membership. And then if you have more than one person in your family doing it, it's like it goes down. So it's like 60, 55, 50, that kind of thing. So it gets cheaper as you go. So it's pretty inexpensive. Thursday night, we race on Thursday nights and Saturday nights, always under the lights, which is another kind of fun thing about our track. We don't do trophies, we just do ribbons on Thursday night, so those races are only $8. Saturday night, we always have trophies. Again, back to Cicely, she's super good about the awards. She always comes up with real creative ones, you know. So we do trophies on Saturday night, so it's $10 on Saturday.
$8 to take your kid to a race. There's nothing you can take your kids to do for $8 in this world.
No.
You can't even go to the movies for that. So.
I mean, seriously, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a great family environment. Like, everyone's so positive. It's just so fun to be out there. It's cheap to race. We have an awesome snack shack that's like so like.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's like $2 for a hot dog, you know, and like I mean, there's stuff that's. Like everything should at least cost $1 in 2021, and they got stuff in there for like 50 cents, you know. Like,
that's true.
So you can just come out there and have a blast and just watch the races, check it out, and it's a lot of fun.
Did you mention something earlier about the Little League, which was kind of like almost like a coaching like kind of clinic? So like it's like a camp really for like kids.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but actually BMX Racing League.
Okay.
So what that is, it's a really cool deal. And if you have kids that are interested in getting into BMX, that's far and away the best way to do it. What you get, it's $149. It's 5 weeks. They get 5 weeks of coaching, 5 weeks of racing.
Oh, man.
At the end, you get a jersey, you get a number plate. At the end, we have an award ceremony with a pizza party. So it's like a whole kind of package deal.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's cool this year because they really stepped it up, because if you go in the league, so you paid the $149 for those 5 weeks, it includes a full membership to USA BMX. So that's $60, like it's that value right there, so you can race. And the track kicks in 5 free races. So for $149, you get 5 weeks of racing, 5 weeks coaching, awards, all that stuff. Then you can start racing, your membership's covered, and you get 5 free races. So
that's awesome.
I mean, you can't beat that deal.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is, you know, like 5 to 16 is the age range. If you have a kid in it, the parents can race. And actually, that's a reduced rate too. I think like $129 for the parents. So they're only racing other kids with the same experience.
Okay.
You're not getting thrown to the wolves with a bunch of kids that have a lot of experience and that are way faster. Yeah. So it's like they're just starting out, and they're
so they
kind of learning together.
It's like age groups and then like classes.
Yeah.
So if you're a novice, like 8-year-old, you're going to be with novice.
In the BMX league, we just do age.
Oh, okay.
So because basically they're all beginners, they're all novices.
Gotcha.
You know, pretty much. So we just go by age.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, they're just racing other kids that are just starting out that are their same age. So it's like real even. And man, I got to tell you, after all this time being around bikes, being around BMX, like right now, that is the thing that stokes me out the most, is like getting these kids out there and getting them stoked on bikes, and like seeing their confidence grow and their bike skills grow. And it's so cool.
Yeah, I love that these are like options nowadays, like in the bike world. Like we have stuff for the cyclocross, and now in mountain biking, and like the BMX. Like back in the day, there's nobody coaching us. We do out there
throwing on the wolves, man.
Fall on our face a bunch of times, and scraped up elbows and knees from BMX racing.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too. We have all the gear, so we have helmets, bikes, all that stuff. So you don't even need your own gear to do this, and that's included in the price. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and we have like little tiny micro bikes, like with 18-inch wheels, all the way up to cruisers. So we got bikes to fit everybody. We got helmets to fit everybody.
Yeah, if you got flyers or stuff on that, bring them by. I'd love to have them in the shop.
Yeah, we're getting flyers printed.
Yeah.
And again, you can go on the Facebook page, and we have all that info on there.
Really
There's
cool.
a link to it.
I really appreciate you coming on and sitting down. Like I said, I always ask people to do these with me, and some people are like scared of the camera. Rich is like, oh yeah, let's get on there and do this.
No, I'm stoked to be here. I'm stoked to spread the word, man. They call me the Stoke Master at the track, because it's just like that's the biggest part of my job, is to just keep everyone stoked and happy and having fun. And so you guys, appreciate all your support over the years and taking care of us, and sponsoring the Misfits, that team. And so
if you need anything from us,
appreciate it.
Let us know. We're always there to help out, because I think it's such an important part for the cycling community as a whole. So I don't know if I missed anything particular that you want to mention or talk about to people. So
yeah, I think we
nailed it pretty well. Yeah,
that was pretty efficient there.
Yeah.
Probably biggest thing, contact us through the Facebook page is probably the easiest way.
Okay, that was my next question, is how do we get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, Spokane BMX, Joe Albi BMX on Facebook. We're out at the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex, 5701 North Assembly. They got soccer tournaments out there, all that stuff. The skate park's out there, obviously, so it's cool. It's just a cool place to go for the day. Ride the BMX track and go to the skate park.
It's a great area, great park.
It's an awesome place. I know there's trails back there that you can ride mountain bikes on, and so yeah, it's an awesome place. But anyway, hit us up on the Facebook page. That's definitely the easiest. We'll get back to you quick if you got any questions.
Yeah, feel free to call the shops too. We can set you up. Jason here at the South Perry store, he's really involved. He's been racing out there for a year, so you can give him a holler and he can fill you in with all the info, or at least get you in contact with Rich and the group out there to get you racing. But thank you everybody for joining in. Get your kids out there. Go give it a shot. The little league thing's amazing. They got the bikes, the helmets, the coaches, the time. Just get your kids out there. That's an experience that it may change their lives, because it sure did me and Rich here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks again. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks.